Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes on the private server Rebirth with our Stalker, Tiger Shrike, who has 1.1 million XP now, 13 and about to be 15 million influence, 198,000 XP to go to get to level 31. And remember, we put this thing up for, what was it, 250,000? It was selling for in the millions. Well, he sold it for 2 million. And now we have 15 million influence. Isn't that nice? Gosh, we have so much. We're not even going to know what to do with it. I already don't know what to do with it. I have now visited all of my contacts who I hadn't gotten missions from, and we got a whole ridiculous bunch of them. Most of them, 5 of these are going to expire at level 31, but I'm going to leave the level 30s behind, and we're going to move on to Founders Falls at this point because I would like to do all of the Founders Falls contacts. I like a lot of these stories in the 30s. And also, I don't want us to get stuck with a bunch of yellow and white conning enemies um, because the missions cap out at level 30. So let's start with Jenny Firkins. I don't remember which arc she gives you, but I know Philippa Moreau's in here, and I really want to do hers. I think she's the one that does the Richty. I know she's near the Richty. Whenever I want to find Richty, I just go. Wow, look at that. Plus 5s, plus 6s. So we are barely the right level to do stuff for her, I believe. But we will go ahead and get started on it and see what she gives us. And her available missions. Oh, this mission is the PvP zone of Warburg. Things are dicey over at Warburg. Speak to the Longbow Liaison in King's Row. Alright guys, I'm going to go do this because she won't give us another mission until we do it. But I will do that off screen. Let's find another contact here in Founders Falls. We're just going to go in order. So Escalante, let's just go do him. We may have to do some of these silly. Oops, I hit the wrong button. I wanted to hit that. It's all right. We're gonna have to do some of these silly like fetch type missions and stuff for them to get them to give us real missions. And one thing I'm not sure about is whether they might really want us to be level 31 instead of 30. And if that's the case, then we're just going to have to go back, I guess. Maybe we could do some tip missions. Not really sure. I don't necessarily... Oh man, this is really rough with the super speed if you forget what the zone looks like. Alright. I don't know if I've ever had to deal with this zone in super speed. I may not have. So his available missions. Okay, so he's got a real one. So he says the council just bought a batch of new recruits from training camps down in South America. And from what I'm hearing, this batch is all ready to tear into the city. I'd like them to learn the city can protect itself. Hit the council. That's probably just random attacking on the street. Or Archon Eric Minetti is a name that strikes fear into a lot of hearts, not mine. The FBI have him on their most wanted list, with over 30 murders and assassinations and kidnappings and so forth. But it looks like he's come up with a clever way to avoid justice. According to my sources, he's preparing to raid the Portal Corporation. You have 2 hours to stop him. Okay, so this is going to be a timed mission indoors, so we will do that one, and I will do the going into Warburg thing by myself. I'm not going to actually do anything. I'm going to just take the mission from the liaison and then drop it, probably. I have no interest in going into the PvP zone. My guess is that... Where are we going here? We're going to King's Row, so we'll go TALOS. My guess is that it's fairly safe to do on this server because there are only like 25 people logged in right now. Well, what are the odds any of them are in Warburg and looking for a PvP fight? My guess is anybody who wants to do PvP is probably doing it in the arena here. Or something like that. It would be the height of uselessness to go into Warburg, which is one of 3 PvP zones, open PvP zones, to go into Warburg looking for a fight as like a villain, to go in there looking for heroes to fight when there's almost nobody on the server. And we just got a badge. That's an exploration badge for walking over one of the hills of sand. So the Warburg liaison is actually over here too, so we might want to just get that out of the way. But yeah, my guess is you can go in there and there's absolutely no risk because It would be such a waste of time to go into Warburg when there's only 18 people on the server, or 25 or 30, and just go looking for random PvP. I mean, how is that ever gonna? How are you ever gonna get anything done PvP wise doing that? My guess is you have to set it up on this server. Like maybe there's a PvP night or something that would work, right? But just randomly going into Warburg looking to see if somebody might be in there to hunt would probably be a huge waste of your time. So here's an interesting little tidbit. I have a meeting at work in about an hour, virtual meeting because everybody's home because of the coronavirus. And so these are technically working hours, but I've done a huge amount of work already today between like 8 in the morning and now when it's middle of the afternoon. And I don't actually have specific hours I'm supposed to work, just stuff I'm supposed to do, and I've done most of it, all of it, for today. I'm actually ahead of where I need to be this week, so I feel fine, you know, just taking a break and doing a little City of Heroes since I've been working all day. And but one of the things, before I started doing this, one of the things that happened is the Human Resources Department at my school sent around a note saying, you know, if you're stressed, here's, you know, watch this video. It's like a 3.5-minute video on how to de-stress. It was utterly useless, right? Basically, they said take control of the things you can control, and don't worry about the things you can't control, which, like, that's great advice, but if I'm stressing out because I am worrying about the things I can't control, them telling me not to isn't going to do me any good. So I watched this video, and I kind of rolled my eyes at it, and I stopped it halfway through and said, okay, this is useless, and I didn't keep watching. And I turned it off, and I thought to myself, you know, the way I de-stress is I go into City of Heroes and beat up villains. This is a great stress reliever, I will say that. It reminds me of the time when I was a postdoc, and my postdoc advisor wasn't able to keep paying me after a while. The grant ran out, and I didn't get another position. I actually ended up essentially unemployed for a few months, and then I got another position. And of course, I didn't know I was going to get that other position when I was first unemployed, and so I was, you know, among other things, I was online a lot, playing City of Heroes. It was the year City of Heroes launched. It was 2004. And a friend of mine who had a great job and was making lots of money, well, he got fired that same, like, week. So I became unemployed that Monday, and, like, that Friday, he logged in, and it was in the middle of the day. And he was from California, so it was, like, 5 o'clock my time, but it was, like, 2 o'clock his time. And it was extremely unusual for him to be playing City of Heroes on a non-holiday in the middle of the day. The guy used to work like 8 to 8, you know, and then he would log in at night. And so I said, what are you doing logged in? And he said, oh, I was, you know, oh no, I was surprised to see him logged in, but I didn't think anything of it at first. And he contacted me and said, hey, are you going to be on for a while? And I was like, yeah, I just logged in. And he said, let's group up. I want to go beat things up. I'm in a bad mood. I want to go beat things up. And so I said, okay, and we grouped up, and I was like, why are you in a bad mood? What's going on? And he said, well, I just got fired today. And so he said, let's just go beat things up. So I said, well, what happened? He said, I don't want to talk about it. I just want to beat things up, right? This is a great stress reliever. And I definitely used it. I have used it in the past. In stressful times when the game was live, I used it to de-stress by just coming in here and beating up villains. Alright, so we have 3 machines to shut down. We've just shut one of them down. Let's see if we can just wander around here and do that. I'm just still going to keep beating up guys because that is a stress reliever. But I don't know that we need to beat up everybody. Okay, so that is an elevator, but let's make sure I haven't missed anything. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, so we'll go back up. We'll go back up and head to the next level and try to take down these other machines. We're also going to need to defeat Manetti. I feel like the name Manetti is familiar somehow. Those are some machines. No Menity over there. So these guys will need to be beaten up, no problem. The misses. Oh yeah, I was rewatching one of the videos, and I wasn't able to quite count it because it was going so fast, but I think at one point I missed like 9 out of 12. Now, I know it was against Orange Cons, but still, that is ridiculous. Okay, there's another elevator. Oh, we need to check and see if there's any more glowies. I don't hear anything. Okay, and over here. There's nothing over there. Okay, so we're going to ignore these guys and go to the next level. We are on the clock, but this won't take us 2 hours because I don't have 2 hours. And because we can run through things. There's another elevator, but let's check for the glowies. And there's one. Okay. Yeah, so we're definitely going to want slot build up for sure. For recharge, but I think we also need to slot these other attacks. So it's going to be rough. At least now, after 31, we're going to start getting 3 slots per level. Okay, one more machine to shut down. And we'll see if that's on this level or the next. I suspect it'll be on the next level, but I may be wrong. Oh! One of these rooms. Okay, I don't see anything here. Don't hear any glowies. So we're going to go to the next level. And there's the final glowy, spoiler alert. And my guess is we're going to probably need to take out everybody in this area. There's Manetti. Yeah, let's take these guys out because I don't want them to get involved in the fight. And we're probably going to need to take them all out anyway. Because a lot of times you don't, as you know, you don't get credit for kill on one guy if you haven't killed all the spawns around him. It doesn't say him and his crew, but my guess is it probably is that way. That one inspiration got us up to 26% resistance. Okay, there's some guys upstairs as well. We don't want them getting involved in the fight. So let's start taking them out. Alright. Love doing crits, especially ones with build-up. I love doing that attack, it's awesome. Okay, let's hasten up. So the buildup comes back faster. We'll hide. And he's got a buddy, but the buddy shouldn't be able to do much to me. He is a +2 boss. Try to do a little extra damage. And I'm not going to wait for the build-up. We can do that after the placate if we need to. Wow. Placate. get a little bit of relief. And then this way we just got this guy to fight. Gotta be careful that we don't aggro somebody else around the corner here. And this takes care of him. So he's defeated. We gained a bulb of XP, and we're gonna shut this thing down. And that completes the mission. Alright. Do we get any clues? We did not get any clues. Alright, so the second mission is this thing. Alright, let me show you guys how this works. Go to the Warburg Liaison, who's right here. And she says, hello, Tiger Shrike. This is a PvP zone. Do not enter Warburg unless you want to engage in PvP. Yep. So we're done. That's all he asked us to do. So these two missions are done. If you remember right, in the, let's see, 2 or 3 episodes ago, I was talking about how a lot of players will take multiple missions at once. This is why, right? We were able to get 2 done right away, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And so, Founders Falls. So, that's an example of how people do it. A lot of people would have just run around Founders Falls, gotten a mission for every contact, and then just done those missions. Let's go back to Jenny and see if she'll give us a real mission now. Haven't made friends with her yet, but we will once we do missions for her. Hey Jen, how's it going? What do you got for me? Talk to the Brickstown security chief or go to Craze Folly. So they're gonna do the same thing, right? He's gonna tell me to go to Craze Folly, so we're gonna ignore that for now. Let's go to Jose Escalante. And this time I'm gonna go over the bridge instead of taking the water. This is much more efficient. Not something I think about or pay attention to as a super jump person or a flying person. And I haven't actually been to Founders Falls with any of my characters until this one, except Silver Phoenix, who does super jump. And I'm definitely going to want my next character concept to have either flight or super jump. Super speed's cool, but I'm done with it. I'm so sick of dealing with the verticality. Okay, available missions. So we can go up against the council, or according to this memo found in Archon Zane's supply base, the council is preparing a new batch of vampiri. Go take them out. Okay, so that's at King's Row. Alright, so guys, I'm going to pause it here. When I'm back at the mission entrance, I will bring you back. Okay, we are back. We're in a council base, and we need to seek data on the vampiri. So I don't know if that means we gotta kill guys or click glowies or what. So we're just gonna take everybody out, I guess. This doesn't seem to be a huge base. It's medium large, I guess. Alright. Oh, see, some guys from above saw me and aggroed to me. Oh, the misses. 3 in a row. Don't tell me that that is not auto-correlated. It clearly is. Why don't I placate you? I didn't wait long enough. And I should have hit build up also. I was impatient. Fortunately, this other guy didn't see me. So we need the base leader and his men. And we're also going to probably have to find some glowies. Although, again, it's possible that the information is stored inside one of these mechs. I just don't remember. Okay. That is a nice crit. Let's placate. And now I'm going to actually wait to hide. And then kill. I don't know why it does that. And then it lets you do it. It's not like you can't. It's really odd. Seems to do it like half the time. Nothing in here. All right. Let's move on. And there's the boss. Nobody around him? This guy. Wonder if I can take this guy out without the boss noticing. Let's try it. I won't use build-up. You don't need all those blues. Did he see me? He didn't. That is perfect. And now, as soon as we hide again, we are hidden. Now we can do an uber attack to him. Wow. Oh my gosh. It took me so long to do that animation that even though I had this clicked, dead. Man, 2 hits and he kills you. That is amazing. Alright. I'll pause this, and when we get back in there, I will bring you back. We are back. And I almost ran right... I actually ran right up to him forgetting I did not have hide on. So I don't know if we're aggroed to him now or not. We are hidden. Guess we'll take a little bit of luck, man. This guy hits really hard. But we hit harder. I just gotta be slower and more deliberate about my attacks, so that if he hits me, I don't get caught in 2 or 3 animations before before I'm able to heal. Right, because what happened is I hit focus, I think I hit focus, strike, and then eviscerate, and while strike was animating, he hit me once, and I'm like, okay. And then as eviscerate started, I hit reconstruction, but eviscerate had already started, and it's got that long animation time. And while this was queued up, he hit me again and killed me. You may notice this character has died a lot more than Silver Phoenix did. Silver Phoenix had, I think, 2 deaths before level 32, maybe 3. Very, very few. However, we were only on +1s at this point with Silver Phoenix. I did not move her to +2s, I think, until after level 32, maybe even later, because I was being very cautious. I'm being much more aggressive with this character. So that aggression leads to more deaths. So we still don't have any data on the vampires. I'm not sure the format in which that comes. There also was at least one more mech man. I heard the beeping back in that first room when I went back through it. I'm ignoring him right now because I think the information is going to be further in, but we may need to go back. I'm just not sure. Haven't heard any glowies. Yeah, there he is, right there. Oh, two of them. Alright, so let's go ahead and put the hurt on these guys. So I don't know if that's what I was hearing in the other room or not. This is actually outside of that room. I thought we were in it, but we're outside it. So they're pretty loud, though. You can hear them from quite far away. Let's listen. Yes, yeah, I hear it. Right up there. There we are. Okay. Is he by himself? Looks like it. Okay, so there it is. There is the council computer. It really shouldn't be showing me that. How did I miss that now? Ah. There it is. And that is the mission. Found a clue. Vampire candidate files. Oh, this is the vampire story arc. We got on it already, I think. These computer files list the identities of several council soldiers who have volunteered for the vampire program. Dossiers on each man reveal a common thread of sociopathic tendencies and a willingness to endure pain. Sounds almost like Jason Bourne. I say that because I've just this last week or so I've watched the original Bourne trilogy. Alright, so let's call Jose. And we are on a story arc, and he says those files list every soldier scheduled to be turned into a vampire. Tiger Shrike, with this, we may be able to capture a number of these men and stop the transformations. Alright guys, so we are 27 minutes into this episode, so I'm going to stop here. I will bring you back when I play again, and we'll continue the vampire story arc, but until then, I am Scrapperlock, and this has been City of Heroes Rebirth.